Reverse image searching is probably my favorite way to search for information about a photo. In most of the techniques we've talked about up to this point, we are searching text. We are providing text about a person, a place, or an event. And we're hoping to get information based on that text that we used as search terms. With reverse image searching, a photo is the search term, and we allow computers to bring us information about that photo. The best way to demonstrate this is a few live examples. In this example, I'll pull up a person of interest, and we'll identify photos of that person. So here's our target, and we will view the original image. So in this example, let's assume that this is the target that you've located, and maybe you found this picture on a Facebook page, a Twitter page, Instagram, or any other social network. And you want to identify whether or not this photo appears anywhere else on the internet. So my goal here is to provide this photo to a search engine and allow that search engine to tell me where else that photo might be on the internet. So I'm going to copy the location. This is the URL or the address of where that photo is at. And that's what we always want when we do these type of searches. So I have the location of that photo, and the first service I'm going to use is called 10i. I'm going to paste in that location and click search. 10i is now examining that photo and looking for duplicates of that photo on the internet. So now that's done running, and it found 4 websites or 4 additional copies of that photo. So now we have 4 new locations to look, and we can click on these and find information about the photo. This has been a great way to identify aliases. We've had several cases where we've had a photo of someone, but the photo was attached to a social network of an alias. We didn't know the target's real name. However, by doing a reverse photo search of the photo used, it often leads to the person's real account where we can identify their real name. So here with 10i, we have found other websites that are using that same picture of our target. We could also have uploaded a photo from our computer. Be aware, when you do this, you are technically uploading that photo to this website. So if your investigation is a classified investigation or sensitive information is involved, I don't recommend uploading any photos. I mainly use this as a search engine to search photos that are already on the internet. 10i actually is not the most comprehensive search engine for this. Google Images has a much better database of reverse image searching possibilities. This feature is not extremely noticeable on their website. It's almost hidden. When you're on a Google Images website, in the search bar to the far right is an option that looks like a small camera icon. When you hover over it, it tells you that that is a search by image icon. When I click it, I am given the option to either provide a location online of a photo, or I can upload an image from my computer. If we paste in that same image that we had for our target just a second ago, Google will now search by that image. And now we also have 4 results, but often you will get many more results doing it this way. This is my preferred method of a reverse image search, Google Images. 10i is definitely a good alternative and should always be checked. However, in my experience, Google will provide much better results. Let's look at a couple of real-world situations. For example, if you have a Craigslist investigation, we'll go to, I'm in St. Louis right now, so we'll do a St. Louis Craigslist, and we'll go to jewelry. And maybe you're investigating some stolen jewelry, or you're trying to find more information about a Craigslist post. So if we click on one of these, for example, here we see a picture of the item being sold by this person. The person does not give a lot of information about the item. If we wanted to, we can right-click on this and just view the image by itself. So now we're looking at just the image, and as you can see in our URL up here, we are seeing just that image. So let's copy this location, And now let's go back to Google and let's kill our old search, and we'll click the camera icon again and paste in that URL that we just copied. And now we'll search by that image. So now Google is searching that watch. And now this is fairly interesting. Google found 4 results from 3 different websites of an almost identical watch. It may be hard to see on your video, but even though this was a photo probably taken by the person that owned this watch, we can see other copies of photos taken that also display that watch. And on this one, I would need to scroll down and figure out which one we were just looking at. Google is very good at taking unique images that don't exist anywhere else and finding other images that are close enough to them that are worth investigating. So now, with this example, we could probably find more information about the watch that we were researching on Craigslist. This is also very common for Backpage.com investigations, and this is usually in the human trafficking and prostitution side of things. But on Backpage, and we will get into this in another module, but basically we can look at a lot of the prostitutes that are posting on Backpage. And I don't want to be inappropriate, but I will click on one of these just to get an idea of how to use this technique when doing these types of investigations. So here is a person that says her name is Sammy, and she puts a phone number on here, and we'll get into this later when we get into the prostitution session. However, my focus here is the photos. Anytime we do a human trafficking investigation or an online prostitution investigation, these photos tell us a lot about the person. It shows us their identity. But more important, we can usually find more information out about these photos. So let's right-click on this photo to view the actual image. Okay, so now we're viewing the original image online. It'll usually end with the letters JPG for JPEG. Now let's grab the entire location of this image. We're going to grab it all, right-click, and we're going to copy it. Now, let's go back to Google. We'll just do a Google search here. And go to Google Images because we want to do a reverse image search of that photo. Click on the camera, and now we can just paste in that URL or that address of that photo of our prostitute. Search by image. Now we can find all of the other websites that she has posted ads on, including the Columbia, Missouri Backpage, RateThatProvider.com, which is a website where people can post reviews of the prostitutes that they visit. And these are other classified type websites that can be used. So now we not only have a single picture of a target that we may investigate, we can take that picture and find other websites that can lead to more information about our investigation. This has been a huge tool for us when it comes to human trafficking investigations, missing children, and any other type of investigation that involves a photograph. Every time you find a photo online that has any interest in your investigation, you should do a reverse image search on that photo. Grab the photo, run it through TinEye, run it through Google Images, and find any other copies of that photo or any photos that are similar enough to it that it might be of interest to your investigation. Every single photo that you find, if it's important enough to add to your case, it's important enough to find other copies of it online. Even if those copies don't lead to new photo evidence, they usually lead to new clues about the investigation that you're investigating.